the organic production technology. Organic production in the sense wherever used all the things are organic. Okay, because nowadays whole the world which is again going towards to the organic farming. Basically, after the green revolution there was the introduction of commercial farming or conventional farming in India. But nowadays, again, we all are going towards the organic farming or organic agriculture because due to the conventional farming, there is continuously the use of the different types of chemicals, fertilizer is increasing day by day, by which the fertility of the soil is continuously decreased. So, introduction, like 25% of the India's population can't get 3 square meal a day. So a green revolution was only concentrated in areas having fertile soil and adequate water supply. So this 30% of the GR area, Green Revolution area, contributed 60% of the food production, while 70% of the area contributed only 40%. So, in intensive farming system, organic agriculture decreases yield. In the green revolution areas, irrigated land and well endowed water region, conversion to organic usually leads to almost identical yields. So, in traditional rain-fed areas like with low external inputs, organic farming has shown the potential to increase the yields. So, under restricted water availability or rain-fed condition, differences in crop yield between organic and conventional production narrow down to between 10 to 15%. But in India, basically, why we need the green revolution? Because due to the more population of India, we can't get 3 square meal in a day. So there was the requirement that how we have to increase the yield of the production. That's why we just going moves towards the conventional farming. After that, there was a technical team constituted by the Ministry of Agriculture made the following observations. First was the country at present is not in a position to completely eliminate the use of chemicals, especially fertilizers can gradually be reduced. Control on commercial sale of organic manure, then IPM is the solution. IPM, that means integrated pest management. So the task force on organic farming set up the Union Ministry of Agriculture during 2001, brought out the status of organic farming in the country. So in its report, it is stated organic farming is being practiced by thousands of farming in the country in a unorganized way, because people were not so educated. They don't know about the different types of techniques. So there was a big effort, but the production was very less. So there was consequences of the use of high yielding varieties in which like food and fodder less nutritive and chemically encourage monocropping, reduce nutritional security, goal profit, not the welfare, precursor of chemical agriculture, succulent pest and disease uses one of three of the applied fertilizer, reduce biodiversity and pollution, then salinity, alkalinity and nutrification or eutrophication, then level, leave soil unproductive in the long, more fertilizer, more cost, more borrowing, and distress farmers. So, effect of green revolution. So, basically, due to the introduction of green revolution in India, the condition was very good, and suddenly the yield of the production was also increased. So, chemical companies that developed highly toxic life damaging chemicals for the purpose of warfare decided to turn their attention on the chemical control of insects, diseases, and unwanted plants. So, there was the reduction in natural fertility of soil, destruction of soil structure, aeration and water holding capacity of soil, susceptibility of soil to water and wind erosion. In US, 15 ton per hectare topsoil is lost. So in India, it is even more. Slitting of reservoir, diminishing return on inputs, indiscriminate killing of useful insects, microorganisms, and predators. So that naturally check excess crop damage by insect pest. So that's why the yield was continuously decreasing due to these all factors. So endangering the health of the farmers and worker who produce them, workers handling pesticide for more than 20 years have increased the risk of developing certain type of cancers. So, there is the poisoning of the food with highly toxic pesticide residue. Because after the Green Revolution, the people, those are continuously use of the maximum fertilizer like chemicals. That's why they poisonous the food and they have highly toxic pesticide residue. That's why they also damage the organ of the body. Cash crop replacing nutritious food crops, chemical changing the natural taste of the food. Like if the food is the organic, then it was very tasty as comparison to the chemical food because uh, in organic farming there was no use of the chemical. That's why all the things were natural and the taste was also natural. But due to the input of chemical, the taste of the fruits or everything becomes changed. High input increasing the agriculture expenses, increasing the farmers' work burden and tension. Then depleting the fossil fuel resources, increasing the irrigation needs of the land. Because due to the chemical, there are different types of changes in the properties of the soil. So there was the depleting the groundwater reserves, lowering the drought tolerance of crops, appearance of problematic weeds, heightening the socio-economic disparities and land holding concentration, high input subsidies leading to inflammatory spirals, increasing the political and bureaucratic corruptions, destroying the local culture, throwing financial institutions into disarray, agricultural and economic problem, sparking of social and political turmoil resulting in violence. So these all types of changes due to the green revolution or after the introduction of green revolution in India. So these are the effects of excess use of endosulfan on health in Kasaragod, like malnutrition and different types of diseases due to the more intake of the chemicals. So thus the need arose for an alternative to conventional agriculture to save the soil from degradation, to increase the fertility and productivity, to avoid synthetic pesticides, to prevent pollution and increase the biodiversity, to reduce the dependency on costly external inputs, and to reverse the trend of borrowing, to make the farmers to rely more on local natural resources, to inculcate self-reliance and self-respect. So these all are the motive of the organic farming. After that, concept of organic farming. So what is the concept of organic farming? In which firstly there are some debated issues. First is, can organic farming produce enough food for everybody? That is the main thing, and only that is the main debated issues of organic farming. So it is possible to meet nutrient requirement of crops entirely from organic sources. Uh, we can fulfill the requirement of nutrients or nutrient by organic farming, but maybe the production yield will be low. So are there any significant benefits of organic farming? It is the food produced by organic farming is superior in quality. If organic farming economically feasible, then it is possible to manage pests and diseases in organic farming. Significance of organic farming for Indian farmers. So first is varied agroclimatic regions and diversified cropping situation, and all crops are grown. Because in India basically there are different types of weathers, seasons. That's why it is completely depend on the agroclimatic regions and agroclimatic condition, because there is the important role of agroclimatic condition in India on the agriculture. Potential for on-farm input management like crop residues, organic manures, green manures, biopesticides, etc., which are storehouse of nutrients. So there are 2000 million ton of animal and human excreta, 800 million ton of animal dung annually, 600 to 700 million ton of agriculture waste is available in India annually. Another thing and another issue is small holdings. So prevailing farming system which is combined agriculture, livestock, that means different types of animals, horticulture, forestry, poultry, fisheries, etc. Then indigenous technical knowledge and skills and availability of trained manpower, scientific thinking, approach, and government policy support towards organic farming is increasing. Then, greater domestic market for organic foods. After that, size of organic food market area under organic farming. So in New Delhi, Howard worked on plant breeding and plant protection. At the agriculture research at Indore, he developed an aerobic composting techniques known as Indore process. So until 2001, there were only 304 organic farms in India. According to IFOAM survey in 2005, India has about 76,326 hectare area under organic farming managed by 5,147 certified organic farms, which is only 0.05% of total agricultural land. So after that, demand for organic products from India. So basically, the basmati rice, spices, tea, coffee, mango, pineapple, banana, vanilla, and cashew nuts or protein grains. These all are the organic product which is in demand and it should be organically. Export of organic products from India to other countries like Europe, Netherlands, UK, Germany, Belgium, Sweden, Switzerland, France, Italy, and Spain. So USA and Canada, Middle East, Saudi Arabia, and UAE Asia, Japan, and Singapore. And in the world, what is the market situation of organic farming? So there were only few organic farmers in 1980. So now in 2006, as many as 6,23,000 organic farms with some 31.5 million hectare area managed organically, and it is practiced in about 130 countries. And market for organic products is growing not only in Europe and North America but also in many other countries. Then growing health and environmental concern, creating huge domestic and export market. Then there was an international market for organic food products, 19.73 billion US during during 2002. Indian shares is 20 million US. So, demand for organic food is steadily increasing both in developed and developing countries with annual growth rate of 20 to 25%, like Australia, Argentina, Italy, Canada and USA are the countries having largest area under organic farming. So some of the countries like Sweden, Australia, Switzerland, Finland, and Italy have substan- substantial areas 10% under organic farming. Leading organic food consumers Swiss, Denmark, Sweden, Australia in Asia, like Japan is the major consumer, Malaysia, Taiwan, Singapore, and to some extent Korea. So, IFOAM, that is International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement, in 1972 is the first conference was held at Switzerland regarding the organic farming. So the market, like current market of organic farming is 23 to 25 billion. Annual growth rate is 15 to 20%, and USA 11 to 13 billion. In Japan 350 to 450 billion, or in Europe 10 to 11 billion. So that is the market situation of organic farming till now. But nowadays we all are just moving towards the organic farming, so it will be increasing day by day, because now all the peoples those have the health issue due to the more consumption of different types of chemicals, because we all are using the different types of chemicals, pesticides, weedicide, bactericide, etc., by which the fertility of the soil is continuously decreased. So continuously decrease. That's why the soil which don't have clear self fertility. That's why how we can gain or retain the fertility of the soil without using any types of chemical. That is the main motive of organic farming, because organic food which will be also rich in the different types of nutrients those are required for the body. So in next class we will discuss about like how we have to start the organic farming and what are the contents of organic farming. Thank you. The current market of organic production is like 23 to 25 billion US, annual growth rate that is 15 to 20%. USA, that is 11 to 13 billion US. In Japan 350 to 450 million US, and in Europe 10 to 11 billion US. Now, status of organic farming in India. So, the task force of GOI under the chairmanship of Sri Kumarji Bhai suggested need for alternative to modern conventional agriculture. Ministry of Commerce (GOI) has launched national program for organic production in March 200 2000 national standard for organic products, that is NSOP, have been standardized during May 2001, and all the products sold under the logo, that is India Organic. National Accreditation Policy Program (NAPP) has been formulated with the accreditation regulations announced in May 2001. There are some products, those are listed below, which export of organic food from India in 2002. So, organic food item, that is coffee, which is sell in tons, that is 550 ton. Tea, which sells 3000 ton. Spices 700 tons. Rice, which sells 2500 ton. Wheat, that is 1150 tons. Pulses 300 tons. Oilseed 100 tons, fruits and vegetables 1800 tons, cashew nut 37375 tons, cotton 1200 tons, and herbal products 250 tons. So there is the total 11,925 tons organic food we sell or export from India in year 2002. So the number of products those exported 18 items, total quantity of export 63,452 million ton, total agriculture exports, that is RS, 27,720 crore. Now, the concept of organic farming. Modern agriculture largely depends on the use of fossil fuels based on input such as chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, and labor saving but energy intensive farm machinery. While the application of such high input technologies has undoubtedly increased the production and labor efficiency, there is a growing concern about the adverse effect on soil productivity and environmental quality. So, the generally accepted organic rules which prohibited the use of synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, growth regulators, livestock feed additives, and stress on long term soil management. So there is the use local resources for nutrient supply and control of pests and diseases which restricting external input to the bare minimum. It is soil building mechanism to keep the soil alive. Keeping soil alive is the primary concern of organic farming. So it is conversion of soil from non-living to living. Plants can absorb nutrients only in the form of minerals irrespective of the source of manure. Organic farming seeks to avoid direct use of readily soluble chemical Example, muriate of potash is a natural rock and is not permitted because it is readily soluble. So, according to the IFOAM, the role of organic agriculture, whether in farming, processing, distribution, or consumption, is to sustain and enhance the health of ecosystem and organisms from the smallest of the soil to human beings. So, the primary goal of organic agriculture is to optimize the health and production of interdependent communities of soil life, plant, animals, and people. So, according to Codex Alimentarius, that is the Food Code Commission CAC, organic agriculture is a holistic food production management system which promotes and enhances agroecosystem health, including biodiversity, biological cycles, and soil biological activity. So, organic agriculture is often termed as knowledge which based rather than input. India needs nutritional security. Besides food security, India stands 124 ton hectare in the developmental index because of poor nutrition. Organic foods and vegetables, those contain 40% antioxidants and beneficial compounds, and 90% more of these compounds are in organic milk. So, the organic foods are more nutritious than other foods. So, Albert Howard cited several examples of good nutritive values of organic food in his book, Then An Agricultural Testaments. Objectives of organic farming as per IFOAM, that is to produce food of high nutritional quality in sufficient quantity. So, to work with natural system rather than seeking to dominate them, so to encourage and enhance the biological cycles within farming system involving microorganisms, soil flora and fauna, plants and animals. So, to maintain and increase long term fertility of soil, to use as far as possible the renewable resources, to work as much as possible within a closed system with regard to organic matter and nutrient element. So, characteristics of organic farming: maximum but sustainable use of resources, minimal use of purchased inputs, only as complementary to local resources. So, ensuring the basic biological function of soil, water, nutrients, human continuum, maintaining the diversity of plant and animal species as a basis for ecological balance and economic stability, creating an alternative overall landscape which gives satisfaction to the local people. Organic production requirement. So the contents are like components of organic farming, nutrient management in organic farming, limiting nutrient losses, organic manure, farmyard manure, factors influencing the quality of FIM or enrichment of FIM. Components of organic farming. First is the organic manure. Organic manures such as FIM, biogas slurry, compost, straw or other crop residues, biofertilizers, green manure, and cover crops can substitute for inorganic fertilizer to maintain the environmental quality. So, the organic farmers may also use the seaweeds, fish manure, and some permitted fertilizers like basic slag and rock phosphate. Second thing, non chemical weed control measures. Mechanical weed control, especially in row crops, no herbicides are used. Cultural, biological, and physical methods are resorted to botanical herbicides, mycoherbicides, and bioagents are employed to control the weeds. Then third thing is the biological pest management. Non-chemical biological pest management is encouraged. Natural enemies of pest are encouraged. Botanical pesticides such as those derived from neem could be used. Microbial pesticides like Bacillus thuringiensis is used. Next is nutrient management in organic farming. So, the first task in organic farming is to protect the soil fertility and health. Use of organic manures, crop rotation, use of crop residue, green manures, intercropping with legumes, use of biofertilizer, etc. are restored to 5.3 limiting nutrient losses. So there is the better recycling of wastage, handling of organic handling of organic wastage, application of organic matter at right time, method and quantity, reducing runoff by following conservation practices, conservation of organic matter by decreasing burning of crop residue. After that, organic manures. So the organic manures are derived from biological sources like plant, animal, and human residues. These organic manure which contain low amounts of the organic manures are derived from biological sources like plant, animal, and human residues. These organic manure contain low amount of plant nutrients but organic matter other than nutrients present in large quantity, hence they are also called as bulky organic manures. So, among various bulky organic manures, FIM, compost, green manure, concentrated manure, vermicompost, oil cakes are most widely used. So, first is farmyard manure. FIM is decomposed mixture of cattle dung and urine with straw and litter used as bedding material and residues from the fodder fed to cattle. The waste material of cattle, which consisting of dung and urine soaked in the re- refuse of the shed, is collected daily and placed in trenches of about 6 meter long, 2 meter wide, and 1 meter deep. Factors influencing the quality of FIM. So, first is kind of animal species, secondly, kind of bedding material, third thing, kind of fodder fed to cattle, age of the animal, manner of collection in the shed, and storage in the pit. Like kind of animal species, kind of bedding material, like which kind of material we are using, kind of fodder fed to the cattle, like which type of fodder material we are providing to the animals, and age of the animal, like the animal is a young age animal, then basically most of the nutrients of the food, they will be absorbed by the nutrients by the animals to building their body or for their uh, body activities. That's why the manure which collected from old age animal, it will be or it contain more nutrients as comparison to young age animal. Manner of collection in the shed and storage in the pit, etc. Then enrichment of FIM, or how we can enrich the FIM. So the recommended dose of phosphorus and potassium for the crops is mixed with 750 kg of sieved FIM. So the mixture is spread in the form of heap and plastering is done with red earth paste. So this anaerobic process is maintained for 30 days. Then the nitrogen fertilizer recommended for the crop is mixed and applied immediately before sowing. Then the compost contents, in which we will discuss about principles of composting, organic resources available for composting, essential requirement for composting, methods of composting, Bangalore method of composting, indoor method, Nadep method, and establishment activities, maintenance, and benefits. So, first is the compost. Composting is a process by which organic wastes are converted into organic fertilizer by means of biological activity under the controlled condition. So, it is an important technique for recycling organic, agricultural, and industrial wastes and for improving the quality and quantity of organic fertilizer. So, there is the principles of composting. Compost making includes three important principles. First is narrowing down of carbon nitrogen ratio to a satisfactory level, that is 10:1 to 2:1. Secondly, total destruction of harmful pathogens. And third is the destruction of wheat seeds by high temperature, that is 60 to 65 degree centigrade. Organic resources, those are available for composting. First is livestock and human wastes, crop residue, tree litter and weeds, green manure, urban and rural wastes, agro-industrial byproducts, marine wastes in India. It is estimated that the annual production of dung and urine of livestock and human beings amounts to about 2000 million ton, with the potential to supply 6.4, 2.0, and 2.7 million ton of nitrogen, phosphorus and potash respectively. Thank you.